Hello, everyone. Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews, coming at you with look at how little the stack is. But we are going to talk about something else after. So we are in Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons, the fifth and final issue. Written by Frank Tieri, artwork by Inaki Miranda. And the pirate story is over. He is told about Godzilla fighting the octopus, who they gave a name to, and Ibera the lobster. Come to find out, there's this secret society that deals with the kaiju. And whenever it gets loose that there is this place, the people in the society's job is to scorch the earth. If you know, you die. It's kind of an interesting way to end it, though, so I like that. That was a good little Godzilla 5-issue series. Next up, we have number 4 of Gargoyles: The Dark Ages. This is our blast from the past, as it were. Greg Weisman is our writer. Drew Moss is our artist, and they're building the castle that we see in the comics, in the cartoons. We get to see the castle. This one also has little gargoyles that I'm pretty sure some of them are gargoyles, like Brooklyn and whatnot, but when they were just small. So a little backstory for them, which is nice. And of course, humans being humans are being awful to some of our gargoyles, but what can you expect? You know what I'm saying? So let's go on to Marvel and Doctor Strange number 9. And find our guys. Jed MacKay is our writer. Pascal Ferry is our artist. And we have our Stephen Strange versus the General Strange. But Stephen has employed the Trinity of Ashes to fight against General Strange and save his girl, Clea, who doesn't really need saving, of course, but you know, he's got to do something. So it's a good book. The artwork is freaky. I recommend it. Very, very colorful and freaky. This is just basically, this entire issue is one long extended battle. That's really all it is. And at the end, the good guys show up from Wand to save them, driving the Psycho Zeppelin of the freaky Dr. Z. So that means you can't wait for number 10. Speaking of the end of another series, number 4 of Heat Seeker, a Gun Honey series. So that means it's got the writer for Gun Honey, but a different set of artists, because our artist doesn't have time for the amount of art they do for the Gun Honey series. So this is like a spin-off. Our writer is Charles Arday. Penciler is Ace Continuado. Inker is Jose Zapata. So they're just wrapping everything up, so they make sure to give us a wicked dose of nudity. Bad guys get what's coming to them. Good guys get away. There's a nudist camp. Yep, you guessed it. There's an acre of guns and nudity. This is probably the most that we've seen in this particular series, and it's an interesting concept of how they burn. It's another one of those like Godzilla where they scorch the earth. You make sure that nobody that knows so that they can go on being themselves. It's fun. It's noir, pulp, sleazy, everything you want from that sort of thing. Our final normal comic book is It's Jeff! The Jeff first. It says number 1, but we already had a Jeff before. So I don't know how that works. It's all Kelly Thompson, and the artist, she's the writer, and Guri Hurry is our artist. The only word you hear in here is if somebody says Jeff. Jeff is a little sharkman who hangs out with Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and I think that's Gwenpool, to be honest. And it's just him and the adventures that he has in a big chunky book. They charge $5.99 for this. There's no dialogue, just noises and the word Jeff. He plays with dogs. He helps clean the house. He wants to go to the movies. He invites all the other super pets along to come help with letting pets out of a pet store. it's fun, and Squirrel Girl's in it, which is also fun. So yep, it's Jeff. He's back! Hooray! So today, your lovely host of the show went to the Grand Rapids Comic Con. We went for three reasons. One, I wanted to wear my Kamen Rider cosplay costume and see how many people wanted to take their picture with me. It turned out to be quite a few. Even one, I'm pretty sure, didn't know who I was, but they liked the costume, so they're like, whatever. Then we went to visit our friend Dirk Manning, who had a booth there. Martha had a ton of stuff that she's gotten from him through Kickstarters that have no signature on them. So she brought 2 big, heavy boxes of comic books and made him sign every single one of them. It was a hoot. And then finally, Matt Fizzell. Matt Fizzell, for those of you who know, the mini comic guru who invented Cynical Man. He was there right around the corner from Dirk Manning. I don't know if he remembered me because, as I mentioned before, Kamen Rider outfit is completely not me. It's a mask. You can't see me. Anyways, he had a new book called Mr. Comics and the Hey Comics Kids. It's all color. It's all the stick art we're used to. Because there used to be a zine back in the day called Hey Kids Comics, and it had interviews, puzzles, and they had a back cover comic that explained how comic book works with Mr. Comics. That's his name. So it's basically lessons in how comics work, and it's full color. It's gorgeous, very, very nice, and it's matte. So he has his little table of all of his mini comics and whatnot. This is great, though, by the way. If you go to www.cynicalman.com, get your copy, $6.99, and he's very much, well, he's got his table of mini comics that he's like, oh, well, if you're getting that, you need this, and it was a reprint of a classic comic, Cynical Man #1, the Super Cynical Anniversary Edition. Then he gave us the episode 15 that had things to do with it, with Cynical Man, and when COVID was a thing. And then finally, this was very interesting for me. They had a mini comic day where they do a mini comic in a day. It used to be a thing, but at the time COVID was going on, so they did it live on Facebook and on YouTube. And Matt basically took the words to the song Johnny Be Good and wrote a mini comic using nothing but the lyrics of the song Johnny Be Good. So, very cute. So he gave us these 3 things because we bought this thing, and he signed it at the bottom with his little guy. So that was great. So yeah, Grand Rapids Comic Con. It was a great time. We had a great time. I got all these people who wanted to have pictures taken with me. Good stuff. I like that. So pretty short for books this week as far as superheroes. Honestly, the only superhero I would count of these 5 comic books is Doctor Strange. I wouldn't count Heatseeker. I wouldn't count Jeff. I wouldn't count Godzilla. And I wouldn't count Gargoyles. So the only superhero comic book is Doctor Strange this week. Everything else is all independent stuff. It is well-known Marvel's. It's Jeff, but I wouldn't count him as a superhero. He's a fun-filled little sharkman. He is a good boy who used to hang out with Deadpool, and now he doesn't. He's a very good boy. So, short week. Kind of like that once in a while. Sophie, Fiona, we did not see you this weekend because, well, we just didn't. We have a big super Thanksgiving mega sleepover planned, and we're going to bring back an old show of mine called Old Man Plays Video Games. So that should be all sorts of fun. We'll bring that back here in the near future, probably around the holidays. And for the rest of you, as I always tell you, go get something to read. Comic books, as I showed you here. There's no superhero except for Doctor Strange, and he's barely a superhero. He's more of a magician than a superhero. They put him in super teams all the time. So In the meantime, yeah, go find something to read. If you live in Kalamazoo, remember Fanfare Comics and Cards will give you a 20% discount if you give them $5 a year. Not a bad deal. And as for the rest of you, that's Flower putting in her 2 cents. I'll tell you what we'll do as a complete unexpected thing here. Before I tell you to go read comic books, let's have Flower come and give her 2 cents. Come here. All right, now wait, hold on. Now let me head over here. Up here like this. Oh, there. There's Flower. Flower loves comic books. She does not love comic books. Don't listen to a word she says. So this is Flower, everyone. You've seen her on the show before. You've heard her on the show many times before. And apparently she wanted to be on the camera too. Did you want to say hi to everybody? Did you want to look at the camera and say hi to everybody? All right, and as for the rest of you, I'll see you next week. Go read a comic book.